Last week, we talked about naming children and children being a property of the community or as a personal belonging. This week, we are going to talk about food, the festival, and art at large on matters be it traditional or modern cultures. With me here in studio, I have guests whom we are here today to delve much into these three topics. I would like them to start introducing themselves.
My name is Fidel Sande, and I'm an intern in Kenyatta University Television.
My name is Rose Miga, and I'm an intern also at Kenyatta University.
Thank you. Well, hello, my lovely viewers. My name is Tyrone Rabu. I'm a student of KU.
Right. Thank you very much for finding time to be with us today in this our show, The Culture Frame on Art and Culture Monday. So, food feeds the body, education feeds the mind, but both feeds what you call the culture. For Gen Z, these challenges is the challenge that is there for them is to taste the richness of heritage of this food and ways for them to prepare them in future. But you can find that we are coming in different cultures and communities where food is muchly appreciated in one way or the other. So I would like to ask you, my panel. I'll start with you, Sandy.
Well, what I can say about food and connecting our heritage with the Gen Z is that most of the young generation, let me use the term young generation, most of the young generation tend to evolve with the current trends in the world. So when we talk about our traditional foods, they feel like they're not up to how they're used to it. Like, take for instance, when you are in campus, when you visit a friend, he prepares for you, let's say, sima, and you compare it from what you eat at home, made by your mom or your grandmother. There's always a difference, actually, between what your mom makes and your grandma. So when you feel like when you're at your friend's place, you'll find out that there is a difference in all tastes. So they tend to go for what's new. They want to try out the new fast food. That is, and explore on the new foodstuffs in the market. Like, you'll find out people ordering pizzas, but nobody's really into buying the sweet potatoes anymore. And so this is killing like that art of our culture. Like they are really, because the young generation are really being ignorant to our culture because they feel like it's a cake, and apparently they call it kienyeji.
Okay.
Preferring the traditional foods over the modern.
All right. Thank you. What about you, Rose? Do you still think that food connects Gen Zs to their heritage?
How I can answer that question? I think right now the younger generations are they're exploring other different foods. There's foods like mukimo and ugali. We should say mukimo is for the Kikuyus or ugali for, I guess, Luyas. I'm not sure. But you'd say in events, that's when you find those foods in events. They're by the specific communities. But these days people try things like pasta, which are Italian dishes, butter chicken, like other Italian or American cuisines. So I think people are now trying more. I wouldn't say fast food, although fast foods are also becoming more famous right now. You want a pizza, it's really easy, just 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it's done. You can order it from home. So I think people have lost the touch with their cultural foods, and wanaifanyaje, they just find these other foods zinakwanga tamu. Honestly, zinakwanga tamu. You can't compare mukimo and pizza, but like, yeah, so they're losing that connection with their culture, and these fast foods or foreign foods, if with lack of better words to put it, yeah, that overtaking the space, the food space today. Yeah.
Okay, good head on. Yeah. We'll see with respect to whatever Sunday and Rosa said concerning food. Mm-hmm. Nowadays you find that the young generation says that right now the food that is present in the market, it is more suitable for them than whatever their grandparents or their mothers were taking. So to you, do you think that statement is true, or is just something ambao wanasema because this is what I want?
Okay, mi naweza sema ina depend na pia it depends place msee ame background, you know, but actually food bado ina connect watu from various backgrounds. For example, unaona food, kuna now that the issue of fast food ni venye ni kitu technology, ni digital na ina reshape the culture. For example, fast food, kuna ATC, chips, the bajia, you know, these are something when somebody wants to cook the fast food, inaonyesha vile msee, somehow inaonyesha vile msee hataki cost a lot of time, ina reduce time. But ukiona the general food culture ni kitu mtu, for example, unaona the Luos wanaenjoy kupika omena, like mimi napenda kupika omena, wanasema tendeni nichukue omena hapo nipike, nataka a lot of time. Na ina ni connecting kulanga hiyo omena, nasikia mbona it taste kama like Victoria, na nishakumbuka home, ndio kisha home, naweza kuona background ya omena kwa inatoka
Place line.
Yeah. So naweza sema hiyo statement ina depend na mtu mwenye background.
Okay.
Yeah. But bado food ina connect culture still. Haijasaulika. Juu bado ukiona Wakikuyu wanakula waru hapo, wanaweza mix waru na kila kitu githeri, unaona. Unajua Mkikuyu akipika, ukiona tu mtu mwenye kwa nyumba mtu amepika githeri waru, unajua ni Msapere kabisa. Walai. Ama ukienda mtu ampika fish na ugali, ushajazia ni Mjaka. Yeah. Kuku, ugali, mluje. Hivyo tu.
All right, thank you. So, to you, Tyrone,
Yes.
what meanings and values do arts traditionally? Because ukiangalia, traditionally we had carvings, we had what we call the beadwork, the oral poetry. So all these ilikuwa na meaning gani to that community ambayo wanatoka?
Okay.
Inamaanisha kwamba food also is it forms what we call identity in a community.
Yes.
Yeah, because umesema ukipata mtu amepika kama ni samaki na ugali, utajua ni Mjaluo. Yeah, pia Rose alisema mtu akipata amepika mokimo, utajua
ni Msapere bado.
Ama Mkikuyu. Okay, iko sawa. So ukiangalia, in another words, yes, ukiangalia another thing on matters our culture, kuna kitu inaitwa art. Now, art is the mirror of what the society. Traditionally, it reflects collective identity and ancestral wisdom. But saizi, modern art reflects what we call personality and whatever msee anataka kuachieve. Sometimes nowadays, art represents what we call career. Because ukiangalia, in this school of Kenyatta University, we have a department of fine art and design.
For sure.
Meaning art is a course ambayo mtu anaweza fanya and provide what you call food on the table to that individual ambaye amemaliza kufanya that course.
Yeah.
So I want to bring this question. Do people right now, start with you Sunday, I can say the young generation or the old generation at large, do they use art to be used as a form of collective identity, ama wanatumia on matters commercial purposes?
Okay, that's a good question. To me, when you say young generation, from my research, it turns out that most of the time the young generation use the art as an expression rather than commercial or even identity. They use it to express their feelings. Like in the previous show, you can see in the last week's show, there was a guest who came up here with some good drawings, and he said there was a baby, then there was a cracked eggshell. So he was like trying to express himself, like how he started his new life after moving out from the hostels.
Okay.
So I can just say, as much as art was used by our ancestors, for them they use this for the culture, to identify our culture, to preserve it so that we don't lose it with the evolving era of technology. The young generation tend to use it to express their feelings, because it turns out that most of the young people, they don't like opening up or sharing when they are in pain or problems. So they tend to use the art as their escape route.
Yeah. Right. What about Shiros? What can you tell us about art with respect to the two generations that we have?
With the younger, of course, the older generation know more about our culture than we do in most cases, not all. But the younger generation, the artists I think they're putting the effort into learning more about their culture, respective cultures, and trying to express themselves and maybe bring out a story in how that growth of that culture or how that culture is affecting them today or something like that. So that art is not lost. Those artists are, as my panelist has said, they are trying to express themselves, and I wouldn't say the culture is lost. As much as the world is developing, that culture in art is still there because there's so many things like, let's say, birth or rite of passage, and the newer ways of expressing themselves. Yeah.
Right.
Angalia art in general inaweza comprise of many things. Tuangalie tu drawings tu, tunaweza angalia skills. Ya skill ya mtu ni gani? Maybe kuna mtu ameiva kwa msusi, ya tayari ni art kwake. Na ukiangalia ukicompare these two generations, ukiangalia generation ya millennials na generation ya sasa Gen Z, ukiangalia angle ya art ya kitambo na sasa ni two inakuwa different. Ukiangalia millennials na walikuwa specialize na art walikuwa wanachukulia serious. Azini mtu akisema ni identity kabisa. Yeah. But sasa hivi tumechukulia majenzi kama commercial. Kitu ni do yangu. Lazima nichapie kitu ndio nipe do. Sitaipea ile value sana kama millennials wana value sana hiyo art yao.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with respect to that, tunaangalia education system yetu imechange.
Yes.
Moving from the 844 system to now we can call it CBE system. Now there are some subjects which 844 system hazikuwa offered with respect to what the millennials and now the younger generation ambao saizi wako kwa CBE system wanafanya, like the creative art as a subject. Unapata most of the Gen Zs wale ambao walifanya the 844 system is au kufanya kitu kama the creative art as a subject. So when government may come through to create that avenue for students, or I can say the pupils, to come and express themselves on what we call art, at least in our broadened mindset yao, on that this is what I can do and this is what I can achieve, with respect to just having what we call education as a way of opening my ways akipro. So moving forward, we are coming from communities again, and then from these communities there are festivals that are being unapata zina happen more often. Unapata kuna festival because of circumcision, we have festivals because of naming. Sometimes after the harvest you'll find that most of the people they'll come and kuna ile festival ya kushukuru Mungu ya kwamba this is what we have got from all this harvest, and we thank you for the rains. Umepata? Yes. So unapata all these festivals they had a meaning, ukiangalia. But I want to pose this question, starting with you, Tyrone.
Okay.
Are festivals still about what we call community bonding? Because ilikuwa inaleta watu pamoja. Or it has become what we call commercial events? Because unapata, I think a few months ago, there were unapata schools were hosting what we call festivals. Now from these festivals, were they doing because of community bonding, or walikuwa wanafanya because of commercial purposes?
Okay, maybe some, Jalu attire, Luo attire.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's already, if you dress like that way and you're not even a Luo, you're a Kikuyu and you're dressing like that way, that's already, you are embracing the Luo culture when you go to these events. Yeah, so to my end, at the same time, it can shape the culture, at the same time, it's embracing the culture, at the same time, it's also a commercial thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Coming to you, Rose, with respect to the festivals that are being hosted by different communities, you find that previously music was being played also in traditional ways, but nowadays kuna ile involvement of what we call music ambao I can say the modern culture infused into what we call the festivals. So is it a shift on matters entertainment, or wameamua tu ku spice up the bonding ambayo imekuja as a result of that festival?
I'd say ni more of spicing up or developing or something, because you'd see some artists would take the same traditional music that was being performed and add modern instruments like guitar or keyboard or drums. So it's more of spicing up and making it more appealing to the younger audience, as much as it will still resonate with the older generation. So, and these festivals, I think they're bringing that connectedness with people from Kitambo, but the older generation listening to this music, this Kikuyu music, also new upcoming artists, Kikuyu artists who will sing even Kikuyu or just Teme Kikuyu. I'm using Kikuyu as an example. So they'd sing in any language, those three languages, Kikuyu, Kiswahili, English. They can blend those languages. So I think it's more of it's like a development or growth of that music.
Right.
And they'll retain still the previous traditional one.
Yeah. So Sunday, with respect to what we call the cultural diversity that has come, the organizers of these events and the festivals, we find that cultural diversity in grow, whereby not only Kikuyu will attend the festival that is being organized by the Kikuyu people or the Kamba people or the Luo people. We find that other tribes are coming. So you, as a upcoming generation, what can you tell that person ambaye ana organize for them to mobilize more on cultural diversity on matters different cultures?
Okay, sai tuko kwa point yenye people wase wanaamini like they're trying to do away with the tribalism. Like they are not into ati nitaenda kwa ile party ya nani juu za Kikuyu ama Kikuyu, no?
Yeah.
They're trying to go with the slogan one country, one nation, and tribeless, right? So the idea is just to explore. They're just trying to share what they do in their culture. That's why utapata Wakikuyu organize the event, utapata there will be Luos attending the festival. When there is an Ogina or Onagi festival,
yeah,
that's what they call the Luos. You'll find the Kisis attending, the Luyas will be there. So it's not all about just celebrating maybe like the traditionals used to do it. They just celebrate good harvest, bond with the fellow members of the community.
Right.
Imefika point sasa they are exploring like nyi mnafanyaje kwa culture yetu? Sisi tunafanyanga hivi, this music tunachezanga when this happens, so we play this when this happens.
Yeah.
And it also turns out that in this festival, as much as they're always being tribal based, they'll still add on top the modern songs, because they are not just targeting the young generation or the elders, but they are trying to come up with a party that festival that brings everybody together irrespective of their age brackets. So they'll play the traditional ones to just remind the young ones that this is what we used to do.
Okay.
Then they play the modern songs to inform the others that now this is what we are doing and this is how we do it. So it's up to the whoever feels not comfortable with that. Now there ain't much you can do about that.
Just to this event,
yeah,
manze the organizers bana washukishe ticket prices.
Okay.
Ticket prices ndo inaweza fanya watu come to these events. Unaweza pata already people wanaenda kwa hizi Mugithi, unapata walunja wako huko lakini si wasafiri.
Okay.
Wana enjoy tena. So events for the tickets zipunguzwe. Yeah.
I think they bring the tickets because the young generations are really, everybody is interested about these events, and when the year an artist is coming, these artists have fun. So this is just to control the population, because when it's overcrowded now, it's not really a fun festival, you know.
Okay. Yeah, that is it for our Culture Film this week. We have heard from our guests about what we call the festival, the art and the food that are being taken from different generations here, and that was taken also from the previous generation that continues to build what we call the cultural diversity within different communities, within our heritage as Kenya, and also the world at large. I have been your host, Clinton Milimu. Thank you for tuning in at the Culture Frame. Bye-bye.